Good evening to you, believers. This is Love Coach Dasha, and I am here to give you this week's word of the week. I am late giving the word of the week for this week because this past Sunday I was getting all my ducks in a row to get ready to go out and celebrate our anniversary. Our anniversary was this past Monday. It was our 18th anniversary, our 18th wedding anniversary, and in a couple of days it'll be 20 years that we have known each other. And me and my honey had an awesome time out celebrating our anniversary on Monday. We went up to DC. We're in Richmond, Virginia, so we're not far from DC. And so we took a couple hours, rented a car, went up there, had a beautiful time. We went to a Van Gogh immersive art exhibit. We got to walk amongst the paintings like you were in the painting. It was gorgeous. Strangely enough, I didn't know if he was gonna have fun with it, but my honey had a whole lot of fun with it. He told me that it was a good idea, so I felt pretty good about my choice for our activity. And then we just rode around. We did an activity where you follow colors. We started off at the place that we went to the exhibit and followed colors and found some place to eat, a Spanish place that had awesome chicken. So we just played games together, had a great time in the car, had a great time in the exhibit, had so much fun. And so that brings me to this week's word of the week. This week's word of the week is something very, very important that you will forget about in the midst of trauma, but I need you to remember and I need you to be serious about pursuing is celebrate. Celebrate with one another. I know that this is a trauma. I know that you have been through something. I know that you feel like you're on the fence, that you're not sure if the relationship is even going to survive. So why in the hell would you be celebrating anything? But the thing is, your relationship is not just the bad parts. Your relationship is the good stuff too. It does not mean that you're forgetting about the bad stuff when you decide to go ahead and celebrate the good stuff, okay? It does not mean that you are saying that it's all fine and that you've completely forgiven and you're just laying down all the baggage. It doesn't even say that. All you're saying when you celebrate the things that should be celebrated anyway, your anniversary, your birthdays, the kids stuff, the beginning of summer, everything that you can possibly celebrate together. When you're doing that, it says that, yes, I know that we're having problems. I acknowledge that we're having those issues, but you are still the person that I wanted to spend my life with. I wanted to spend my time with, and I am going to be happy every every time I get the opportunity, every chance that I get to be happy in your presence, I'm going to try to do that. And that is what healing is. Healing is letting go of the pain enough that some good can creep in, that the positive, that the happy can creep in and start to take up some of the space that the pain is taking up. When you're in pain, it takes up all of the space, right? It takes up all of the air in the room. It takes up every inch of your heart. It's so hard to be happy about things. But when you purposely decide, okay, we are going to celebrate, we are going to have fun, we're going to do food, we're going to do festivity, we're going to do fellowship, we are going to do that. It makes a little bit of wedge of space in your heart. It tells your heart that you are open to stretching open a little bit more than you are and being a little bit more vulnerable and getting to the place where the love can return and fill your heart up again. If you never give it any space, if you never give it any time, any goodness, any celebration to open up your heart, to wedge that little bit of light inside your heart will just stay clamped down and dark and cold for like the rest of your life. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to live a life where you don't have that light and that hope and that celebration and happiness in your heart. You don't deserve that. Just because this has happened to you does not mean that you are so traumatized that means that you have to live the rest of your days in misery. That is not necessary. What happens when you start to heal is you start to just let some of the pain drop away, or at least release it for a second. You can come back and pick it up again if you really need to, but you drop it enough so that there's a little bit of good that can slide into its place, that can open you up, can wedge in there and start to push a little bit of that pain to the sides and get some of that good, warm happiness back into the core of your heart. Um, if your anniversary is coming up, absolutely celebrate that. Now, that it only counts for the good anniversaries. Let's not celebrate the D-Day anniversary, the day that you found out, the day that you knew that they had sex, all of that. That is not a time that you want to commemorate, okay? What the goal is for you to fill up your time with the celebration, with the good things that are happening in your life. You want to fill your life up with those things and push out the memory of those negative things happening, so that the memory of, oh, it's coming up on a certain amount of time since he last cheated on me, so that starts to get pushed out of your mind. It starts to be less and less of a memory, less and less of a vivid memory for you. I only know for sure that it has been almost 14 years. Next year will be 14 years, or next month will be 14 years since he last cheated, or since he was, just out of control, doing crazy stuff. I only know that because of my son. My son is about to be 14, and the last time we really had some issues and problems was just before he was born, which is, and a lot of your situation, a lot of women go through the issues with cheating when they're pregnant. And that's the only reason I still know. That's the only reason that I still absolutely know that it has been 14 years, is because all of that came to a crashing halt. He had just messed everything up, messed all of life up so badly right before our son was born that it sticks out in my mind. But when my son's birthday comes around again, I'm not all anxious. I'm not all sad. We celebrate his birthday. We are together as a family. We have as much celebration of the good things as we possibly can. And I'm not thinking about the negative. I'm not thinking about how terrible, those months were before he was born, before my husband got himself together. I don't go there. We just celebrate my son. We celebrate being together. We celebrate being a family. And that is what is going to help you heal a ton, is to allow the good stuff to happen. It's part of the dreams formula. It's allowing the healing to happen and celebrating your anniversary, celebrating birthdays together, making sure that when you are celebrating, you're not mentioning the infidelity. Lots of women tend to do that. They'll give him a birthday card and it says, well, even though you cheated on me, I still love you. That's not positive. That's not celebration. That is bringing them back to, you're a horrible person that did a horrible thing, and I'm still thinking about that even when we're supposed to be celebrating together. So you have to be able to let it go in those times. Limit what you say in the card. If you just cannot think of anything positive to say, happy birthday, I love you, leave it at that. Okay, and keep it pushing, because bringing up the negative on positive days makes that a time where you are commemorating bad things when you go to the next year. That if this year everything was terrible, you were always talking about how terrible things were between the two of you, and then you get to your anniversary next year, it's even harder that next year to have that good time together, because you, on the last anniversary, you made sure that it was a miserable time. We are looking towards healing. We're looking towards getting the pleasure back and not living in the pain. I don't want us to continue to live in the pain. It is not necessary. You don't have to do it. You can absolutely set the pain down and live in the moment and have those good times together and love on one another and get yourself back in a position where you can reconcile and be healed together. You absolutely can do that. You just have to make a plan for it. And part of that plan is to celebrate. Celebrate together. All right. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to work on figuring out something this week that you can celebrate. It doesn't matter what. I don't care what. It could be something completely made up just for the two of you. That's fine. If you want to have something that nobody else has and you celebrate that, that is an excellent thing to do. Give yourself those reasons to look at each other and smile and let down your guard and be close again, and you will get to the healing path. I promise you. I promise you will find yourself on the healing path with the sun shining on your face, and it will be a good time. So I want you to celebrate as much as you can. I had an awesome time with my husband. I hope that you have an awesome time with your honey, and you can just celebrate this week. So I will be back again. It'll be shorter this week. I'll be back again on Sunday again to give you next week's word of the week. But for right now, I just want you to hang on to celebrate. Celebrate. All right. All right, y'all. I will talk to you again on Sunday, and make sure you join me right here on YouTube streaming for the Healing Hour Live tomorrow, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will talk to you then. Come bring your questions. We'll get on the healing path together. All right? Bye.